The massive lioness stood frozen at the edge of the enclosure, her amber eyes fixed on three tiny golden retriever puppies huddled against the cold concrete wall. Their mother had died just hours earlier from complications during birth, and the sanctuary staff at Wild Ridge Animal Reserve in South Africa knew these newborns wouldn't survive the night without intervention. What no one expected was that Zara, a 4-year-old lioness known for her solitary nature, would become their unlikely savior. It started when keeper James Mitchell placed the whimpering puppies in a warming box near Zara's habitat, hoping to stabilize them before the overnight drive to a specialized facility. But something remarkable happened. Zara approached the mesh barrier separating her from the puppies and released a low, rumbling sound that wasn't quite a growl or a purr. Within minutes, she was pacing anxiously, refusing to leave the area. Against every protocol and his better judgment, James made a decision that would either be brilliant or catastrophic. He opened the gate. The puppies were dying. Their body temperatures were dropping rapidly, and without their mother's warmth, they had maybe an hour left. James had worked with big cats for 15 years, and he'd seen Zara interact gently with injured animals before, but this was different. These were vulnerable prey animals, and Zara was a predator with instincts hardwired over millions of years of evolution. His hands trembled as he carefully placed the puppies on a blanket inside Zara's night house, then stepped back, holding his breath. Zara moved toward them with deliberate steps, her massive paws silent against the floor. She lowered her head, and for a terrifying moment, James thought he'd made a fatal mistake. But instead of aggression, Zara gently nuzzled the smallest puppy, a female with a white patch on her chest. Then she lay down, curling her powerful body around all three puppies, sharing her warmth. The puppies instinctively crawled against her belly, and within moments, they were nursing attempts at her fur, their tiny tails wagging weakly. James couldn't believe what he was witnessing. A lioness, one of nature's most efficient killers, had just adopted 3 defenseless puppies. The first night was critical. James stayed awake, monitoring through the security cameras, ready to intervene at any sign of danger. But Zara never left the puppies. She groomed them with her rough tongue, cleaned them, and positioned them carefully against her warmth. When one puppy wandered too far, she would gently retrieve it with her mouth, carrying it back with the same care a mother lion shows her cubs. By morning, all 3 puppies were alive and significantly stronger. The sanctuary was buzzing with excitement and disbelief. Word spread quickly. Within days, news outlets from around the world descended on Wild Ridge Animal Reserve. Visitors came in droves to witness the impossible relationship. The sanctuary staff named the puppies Dakota, River, and Maple, and they thrived under Zara's protection. She taught them to play, batting at them gently with her massive paws, always careful never to use her claws. When they tumbled over each other, Zara would watch with what could only be described as maternal pride. The bond was undeniable and deeply moving. But not everyone was happy about the situation. 3 weeks after the adoption, animal welfare activist Patricia Donovan arrived at the reserve with a court order demanding the puppies be removed immediately. She argued that keeping puppies with a lioness was exploitative, dangerous, and violated natural boundaries. She brought media attention, protesters, and legal pressure. Patricia believed the sanctuary was using the animals for profit and publicity, putting the puppies at risk for entertainment. She wanted them placed in a traditional foster home with other dogs. The sanctuary fought back. Dr. Elizabeth Torres, the head veterinarian, presented evidence that the puppies were not only surviving, but flourishing. They had gained weight appropriately, showed no signs of stress, and had developed normally. More importantly, separating them now could cause severe psychological trauma to both the lioness and the puppies. Zara had become increasingly protective, and attempts to even examine the puppies required her consent. She had bonded with them completely. The case went before a special animal welfare tribunal. For 2 agonizing weeks, the puppy's fate hung in the balance. Patricia presented expert witnesses who testified about the dangers of cross-species interactions and the unpredictability of wild animals. The sanctuary countered with their own experts, plus thousands of hours of footage showing Zara's gentle, consistent care. James testified emotionally about that first night, how Zara had saved 3 lives that modern veterinary medicine couldn't. Then came the breakthrough that changed everything. Dr. Helen Bradford, a wildlife behaviorist from Oxford University, revealed findings from her research that no one saw coming. She had been studying Zara's history and discovered that 2 years earlier, Zara had given birth to 3 cubs who died within days from a genetic condition. The trauma had left her in deep depression, refusing food, and showing signs of severe grief. The sanctuary had nearly lost her. When those puppies arrived, Zara wasn't just helping them survive, she was healing herself. The puppies had given her back her purpose, and she had given them life. The relationship wasn't exploitation, it was mutual salvation. The tribunal ruled in favor of the sanctuary, but with conditions. The puppies would stay with Zara, but would also receive daily socialization with dogs to ensure proper behavioral development. Patricia Donovan, faced with the overwhelming evidence, withdrew her opposition. In a surprising turn, she even apologized publicly, admitting she had rushed to judgment without understanding the full situation. She donated to the sanctuary and became one of its supporters, helping to develop ethical guidelines for unusual animal care situations. As the puppies grew, something magical continued to unfold. Dakota, River, and Maple never forgot their Lioness mother. Even as they grew into full-sized golden retrievers, they would spend hours each day with Zara, playing and resting together. Zara, in turn, remained gentle and protective. The sanctuary used their story to raise awareness and funding for orphaned animals of all species, helping countless others find homes and care. James often stood watching them together, still amazed by what that one desperate decision had created. The massive Lioness, who had once been dying from grief, was now surrounded by love and purpose. 3 puppies, who should have perished in their first hours, were now healthy, happy dogs, who knew they were loved by the most unlikely mother imaginable. Sometimes, he thought, the rules exist to be broken when compassion demands it. Sometimes the heart knows better than the handbook. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that love transcends all boundaries, smash that like button and subscribe for more incredible animal stories that prove nature is far more beautiful and mysterious than we ever imagined.